Morning. Rise and shine. Rise and shine. The secret ingredient for a rocking morning blaze.
The greatest hits.
All revved up and ready to go. This is the Morning Mojo.
On Radio 44.
Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday's The Morning Mojo with Hermina in for Jeet on Radio 44, the world's first and only Bollywood audiovisual station. What does it mean? It means we've got cameras in the studio so you can see me, you can see the videos of the songs, and not just that, but I'm going to be joined in the studio with Mitesh Chavda, who's our sporting expert, in-house Radio 44 sports expert. And joining us will be Rizwan Charania, who is a pro golfer and elite coach, along with Mohit Mediratta, who's a PGA certified pro golfer. He's also a Callaway agent, and they're going to be participating in the magical Kenya Open this weekend. Lots to talk about. Stay tuned for that. And make sure if you've got a laptop, a tab nearby, even your app, then you can click on Watch Live and you can see them in our studio. Stay tuned for that. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Mojo. And Rose playing for you on Radio 44 at 10 minutes past 8 this morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Mojo with Hermina on Radio 44. And joining me in the studio is Mitesh Chavda. Morning, Mitesh.
Good morning to all the listeners. I'm not here for cricket, but I'm here for the magical Kenya Open, which is starting this week, hosted at Muthaiga Golf Club. And in studio with us is, of course, as mentioned earlier, Rizwan Charania and Mohit Mediratta, who will tell us everything from the tee to the fairways and a bit of rough to the greens in a while.
So actually, let's get on with it because we have a lot to talk about. So welcome to Radio 44, Mohit and Rizwan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ermina.
So
Mohit, we'll just jump straight onto the fairways. How has magical Kenya Open changed your life?
It's been good. It's given me the confidence and a platform to play golf internationally and pursue my dream and my career.
Same question to you, Riz. Since last you played the Open, what has changed apart from changing diapers?
Well, yes, big difference changing diapers and holding golf clubs. No, but I mean, I'm so happy my life has changed with my son being born, and I think when it comes to Kenya Open, I mean, I've played in a lot of Kenya Opens in the past, and I think going from Challenge Tour to DP Tour was a big step. Of course, it's more difficult because the quality of play is much higher, but that's great experience for us Kenyan pros to be alongside the best. And once again this week, you know, we'll try and show how our experience is, how our games have progressed, and let's see what happens.
Yes, talking about how the experience and the game goes, could you please share with us your thoughts about lack of high-level tournaments organized by the local federations and your experience, and how you keep your game to top level to this week?
Yeah, I think it's very evident that there is a lack of events in the professional scene here in Kenya. But you know, talent is not an issue here. So we have good golfers locally that when we do compete at a high level, and that enables us to stay competitive. But hopefully in the future things change, and hopefully, you know, we get to play a year-round calendar of events around the country, and maybe even around East Africa.
What is your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think after COVID, things kind of changed for us here in East Africa. I think lack of tournaments was one. I think a lot of changes in leadership with golf was another. So I think there was a huge disconnect between the unions, the professional federations, Kenya Open Golf Limited. And I think now they're taking steps to try and kind of bridge all these gaps and try to improve golf, not only for professionals, but for amateurs, for juniors, for ladies. And if everything does go to plan, I think in the next 3 to 5 years, we will see that, especially on the professional side, that we will have a very good, as Mohit mentioned, a very good year-round calendar where it enables us to basically train harder, be motivated to train harder, improve our games to be able to compete in DP World Tour events. The other thing is, obviously, I think once everyone aligns with what the objectives are, which is where I think right now not everyone is aligned, because you can see that there's a lot going into junior golf and amateur golf. But then remember the progression from junior to amateur, right? Then from amateur to what? Because we don't have a pro circuit here at the moment. So what motivation do young kids have, ladies, elite amateur golfers, what motivation do they have to turn professional? They don't, because at the moment amateur golf has a full calendar, and they have enough events to play in, so why turn pro?
Okay, so we're going to be discussing more, especially because you're Kenyan. So do you have an edge over the other players? And also we'll be talking about what's your approach. Is it going to be different this time? You've done this before. So we'll be discussing more about it. Don't go anywhere. We're joined in the studio by Mohit and Rizwan Charania, Kenyan players who are going to be participating in the Magical Kenya Open. Stay tuned to Radio 44. It's Bacha Divine and Nikita Gandhi playing for you at 27 minutes past 8 this Tuesday morning. And in the studio with me are three gentlemen, Mitesh, Rizwan and Mohit Mediratta. Riz and Mohit are participating in the Magical Kenya Open this weekend. And we've been having a conversation with them. Mitesh?
So we've taken off, we've teed off, they both landed on the fairways. Muthaiga Golf Club, a course that is just very close to both of you. How much of local knowledge will be of help during this week?
It's different. Yes, the local knowledge plays a big part in terms of knowing how to plot your way around the golf course. But the course actually sets up very different for us. For 51 weeks of the year, you play the course in soft and wet conditions, or softer conditions. But this week they really let it dry out, really let it firm up. So the course that way plays a little bit different. The ball rolls out a little bit more. And for some weird reason, it's always the hottest week of the year, so the ball ends up flying a little bit further as well. But in terms of the golf course, it's very different to what we see on a daily basis. It's firm, it's fast, it's not so soft as well.
Yes?
Yeah, agreed with Mohit. I mean, we play at Muthaiga week in, week out. Conditions-wise, the tour always want to test the best in the world, so they make the greens much, much harder, much, much faster than what we're used to. I think the way to adapt to that is more difficult for us, because we don't on a weekly basis play these kind of course setups, whereas these guys on the tour do, so they really understand how to adapt and they're used to it. From our side, it's a little bit more difficult. I mean, obviously, it's easy to say, everyone will say, oh no, but they play on this course all year round and it's easy and it's this and it's that. But at the end of the day, being able to adapt, I think, is the key. How we adapt to it this week, is going to basically prove whether we prepared correctly or not.
You both mentioned a very important point about course setup, which is different for the DP World Tour compared to the 51 weeks that we know about. So this week is special because we've got international pros that are coming down. How much does it get intimidating to you guys when you're paired with them to play, despite having this local knowledge, the course, how it's maneuvering around? How do you handle this? Is it intimidating? Is it pressure? Because lack of international tournament is where we are having a problem with.
I wouldn't say it's intimidating. I think having played professional golf for quite a few years outside of the country, it's almost like a comfort zone. But it's just, definitely ups the level of golf. The added nerves are there for sure. When we play our events, we barely even have 5 people walking with us. Now you're standing on a tee and you have 100 people watching. I think that's a lot of fun. But I wouldn't say intimidating is the right word. I think it's just more so being in an element, getting into a zone, and just kind of focusing on what you have to do.
Yeah, I agree with Mohit there. I mean, initially when I first turned pro as a young pro, yes, I used to be intimidated because, you know, you'd see these guys on TV and you're like, wow. But then as you get older, you know, you just realize that, you know, you're as good. We have so many good players here. It's just, as you said, Mitesh, it's just a lack of opportunity, the lack of playing at that high level on a weekly basis, which is where we fall behind. Honestly, we have such good players here.
We do, and that we want to see the good players making the cut on Friday evening. And what we'd like to hear from you once we come back is the mantra getting into this week from Thursday onwards.
Where would you hear Nora Fatehi and Jason Derulo together on one song only on Radio 44? It's Snake playing for you on Radio 44. Hope you're doing well. In the studio with me is Mitesh with Rizwan and Mohit Mediratta.
Mohit, a lot of preparations have gone in qualifying, and you guys have made it to the final qualifying, and now you're actually in the tournament. What's the mantra heading into this week?
I think for me, my mantra is to have fun, play golf with a smile on my face and just flow. I think in years past, I may have put a little bit too much pressure on myself. So now I know I'm good enough to do well. I played well in the qualifiers, so I just got to continue doing what I'm doing. And more importantly, it's just to enjoy it and have fun.
Any different mantra?
No, pretty much the same. I mean, for me, I've always been a hugely technical player. So every time I'm training or practicing, I keep videoing my swing and looking for mistakes. Where really, at some point, you know, it's like, just go out there and play with the feel. Especially when you're playing tournament golf, you can't be thinking about your swing, you know, during the round. You just have to, you know, pick your shot, play your shot. And this year, my approach, I mean, even with the qualifiers, to be perfectly honest, I mean, I didn't play much golf prior to the qualifiers. When I heard the qualifiers were happening, I'm like, okay, let me give it a shot. I've not played Kenya Open for 4 years? So I said, no, let me give it a shot. And honestly, I didn't look at my swing on a video for 2-3 weeks prior to this qualifier. And I went out there and, I had fun. I played my best, I think, in a long time. And I'm going to go into this week, you know, the same. Just pick my shots, go with the feel. I know my swing is in a good place. So again, I don't need to look for mistakes and get overly technical.
Fantastic. Mohit, we'll just divert slightly out of the golf course. Callaway agent. Please elaborate that for our listeners.
Yes, so I have the agency for Callaway Golf in Kenya. We're actually in the process of opening up a retail outlet at Kenrail Towers, so be sure to come by. But yes, as Callaway, we provide all Callaway goods, from the apparel to clubs to bags and everything you need golf related. That's Callaway.
We'll talk about more of that, about Callaway branch.
Yes.
Riz, there's a special kid who is participating in the Kenya Open this year. He's 15 years old, junior amateur, Shashwat. He has been training under you. This week he'll be playing the same competition as you. Please tell us about your pride and how you've seen this kid grow.
No, I mean, for me, I'm lost for words, because it's quite an emotional moment as well, because we've been working so hard to get his game to where you know, he can compete at an international level. And I have to say, I'm so proud to have him playing in the same tournament as I am. This for me also as a coach is it's very I'd like to say a very huge milestone in my coaching career, because I mean, right now I'm more on the coaching side than the playing side. So for me, this is a huge milestone to be able to take a kid, basically a child is what he was when we started at 7 years old, and now turn him into a player. So it's been a long journey, but I have to say I'm just super proud.
And I'd just like to interject because we were talking off air and you mentioned how you started at the age of about 9. Mohit said he was 4. And Riz, you said your son is 2 and he's already on the course. So for somebody who's listening, how early is too early to put a kid on the course to start?
No, honestly, as soon as he started walking, we put a club in his hands, and he just
It's in his
took
DNA.
it. Yeah,
it's in his genetics as well.
exactly. He took it like a duck to water, but he's having fun. I don't overcoach. He's there. He likes it. He watches me, and my wife plays as well. So he watches us hit golf balls and practice, and so he just copies. Monkey see, monkey do, kind of thing. And no. So for him, I'm going to give him the best opportunity I can for him to excel, be it golf, be it any other sport, but for sure. We will support him all the way.
Before Mohit feels left out of not having to look after a junior. Anything special that you intend to do from Thursday onward? Does your routine change, your sleep pattern, eating for both of you? Any specific changes into this?
No, 0 changes. It's just 4 days of golf. That's the way I look at it. So for me, it's another 4 days of golf where nothing changes. My routine doesn't change. If there's football in the evening to watch, I will watch that, but that doesn't change. Just to go out there, have fun, and do the best that I can do.
Yeah, same. Nothing will change. It's after Sunday, life goes on again, and we look forward to Kenya Open the next year.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about golf, but I'm sure there's more to Riz and Mohit beyond golf. We will be discussing that in a short while. We're going to have this rapid fire around it. It should be interesting. Stay tuned to Radio 44. We're in conversation with Riz and Mohit Mediratta, who are both participating in the Kenya Open this weekend. It's a special dedication for Mohit because this is one of his favorite songs playing for you on Radio 44. Mohit, if only they were watching, they could see how much fun you're having. Almost turned it into a nightclub.
Well, we'll get back to golf. I know there's a lot of thinking when you guys are on the green about reading the greens, putting, but in the next session, you're not thinking about. We want rapid answers, and we'll start with it right now. Your dream 4-ball. It doesn't have to include me. It's okay.
I already play it. My dad, my brother, and my granddad.
Brilliant.
My son, Tiger Woods, Ben Hogan.
What's the worst shot you've ever hit?
It's called a shank.
Okay.
I agree.
One rule in golf that you could change.
I can take over quickly since it's rapid. If your ball ends up in a divot in the fairway, the most crappy rule that there is.
Mohit, you're nodding.
No, 20 seconds to hit a golf shot, or 30 seconds to hit a golf shot.
I love that. That's a very heated topic going on right now.
Yeah.
Okay, there must be something else that you do outside of golf. We've seen Mohit, you turn Radio 44 studio into a nightclub. What's your go-to club in a tricky situation?
Go to?
Club. No, the golf club.
Oh, a 9-iron.
What about you, Riz?
Mine is the hybrid.
Since you guys spend a lot of time on the golf course, what's the funniest thing you've seen on the golf course?
I've seen somebody fall into water. Oh, I've seen a golf cart being driven into water.
I've seen someone fall into a bunker.
Which golf course is on your bucket list?
Augusta National, if not St. Andrews.
I'd have to say the same, Augusta.
Okay.
Walk or cut?
Walk.
What's the most annoying question people have asked you about golf?
Why does a Kenyan never win the Kenya Open?
I'm gonna second that.
Ouch.
Most
Below the
annoying
belt.
question.
I'm gonna second that.
Best excuse for a bad round?
My back hurts.
Best excuse for a bad golf round.
Caddy?
No, not caddy. Gosh, I pass.
What's your guilty pleasure snack after a round of golf?
A burger and chips.
Chicken tikka.
Superstitions? Weirdest superstitions before your round?
No superstitions.
None.
Okay. If you had to describe your golf game in one word, what would it be?
Fun.
Erratic.
Play around blindfolded or one club only?
One club only.
One club only.
If your golf had a theme song, what would it be?
We just heard the song before for Mohit.
Theme song.
Or maybe even for your golf swing.
You're beautiful.
Eye of the tiger.
Nice.
Well done. Would your caddy get a bashing if he reads the green wrongly?
No, everything falls on me.
Always the caddy's fault.
I love that. Guys, this was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But there's one question you both passed. We'll get back to that off air.
It's been a pleasure having you both here. We wish you all the best. Thank you so much for waking up early and coming and spending your Tuesday morning with us. And since Riz talked about Eye of the Tiger, here we go.